Move out of your comfort zone. You can only grow if you are willing to feel awkward and uncomfortable when you try something new. You wake up one morning and something inside you feels stuck. You have a job, maybe even one you once prayed for, a routine, a phone full of notifications. You've been doing everything right, working hard, checking off tasks, managing expectations, and yet you feel like you're living on autopilot. You've mastered your comfort zone so well that it's starting to master you. Let me ask you a direct question. When was the last time you felt fully alive? Not just busy or tired, but deeply, vibrantly awake with purpose. Growth never happens in comfort. If you're comfortable, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're falling behind, not just in the economy or your career, but in life, because life moves forward with or without you. The first lie comfort tells you is, you're safe here. But safety without progress is a silent trap. The second lie it whispers is, you're not ready. But here's the truth, you become ready by moving. We all fear the unknown, but successful people who rise above mediocrity and live with intention, aren't fearless. They're just more committed to their future than to their fear. They feel the discomfort and they act anyway. Success doesn't respond to need, it responds to courage, clarity, and consistent action. Comfort is the enemy of achievement. It tricks you into thinking small wins are enough, that playing not to lose is smarter than playing to win, that maybe next year is wisdom instead of procrastination. But look around, how many people are stuck in lives they don't love because they postpone risk for too long? If you're listening to this, it means something inside you is stirring, and that's not by accident. There's a voice calling you to more, but more doesn't come wrapped in ease. It comes disguised as risk, as fear, as that pounding in your chest before you raise your hand. Submit the proposal, hit publish, or walk away from what's no longer serving you. You must become the kind of person who does hard things, not because they're easy, but because they're necessary. The bridge between who you are and who you want to be is paved with discomfort. If it were easy, everyone would do it. But easy is a lie, and chasing it is how people waste their lives. Start asking yourself better questions. Don't ask, what if I fail? Ask, what if I never tried? Don't ask, what's the worst that could happen? Ask, what's the cost of staying where I am? The cost of staying stuck is spiritual decay. You shrink, you settle, you slowly forget the sound of your own ambition. You begin to rationalize your own mediocrity, and one day you'll wake up with the dull ache of regret, not for what you did, but for what you didn't do when you had the chance. You don't need perfect timing. You need a decision right now, today. You can either step forward into growth or back into comfort, but you can't do both. Let me be clear, there's nothing wrong with rest, but there is something deeply wrong with staying still. When your soul is calling you forward, discomfort is not a sign you're failing. It's a sign you're expanding. It's what transformation feels like. What do you really want? Not what society says you should want, not what your parents, partner, or peers expect of you. What do you want to experience? To become, to create, to contribute. Now write it down. Make it visible. Let it burn inside you. Because clarity creates momentum. Don't wait for motivation. It's a byproduct of action, not a prerequisite. You get motivated by moving, by building something that matters, by keeping promises to yourself when no one is watching. High performers don't rely on how they feel. They rely on habits, standards, and systems. Discipline is the difference between wishing and winning. And that discipline begins with your relationship to comfort. Every morning, you're making a decision, not just what to wear or eat, but a decision about your identity, your future, whether today will be a replay of yesterday or a revolution towards something better. You're always one decision away from a new direction. The most powerful words you can say are, I will no longer tolerate this. That one sentence can change your finances, your relationships, your health, your life. But change doesn't come from declarations alone. It comes from action, repetition, resilience. You will stumble, you will doubt, you will want to go back, but keep going. Because on the other side of discomfort is everything you've ever wanted and more. Your comfort zone may feel cozy, but it's costing you your greatness, your growth, your full potential. Your comfort zone is your cage, and your fears are the bars. But you have the key. It's called responsibility. That may not sound exciting, but it's the most powerful force in your life. Responsibility puts you back in control. It says, no one's coming to save me, and that's good news, because I can save myself. No more excuses. No more waiting for circumstances to change. You're the circumstance, you're the variable, you're the difference. Take one bold step today, then another tomorrow. Stack courage like bricks. Build a new reality. You don't need to know the entire path, just the next step. Clarity comes through motion, not meditation. Confidence comes from evidence from doing the hard things and proving to yourself that you can. Every action you take is a vote for the person you want to become. So cast your vote with your time, your energy, your choices. You want freedom. It lives on the other side of consistency. You want confidence. Earn it by doing the thing you fear repeatedly. You want results. Show up when it's hard. Especially then, and here's the secret eventually, discomfort becomes your new comfort. You begin to crave growth. You start measuring success by how many times you stretched, not how many times you coasted. That's when you become unstoppable. You've got to outgrow your excuses. Outgrow your doute. Outgrow the story you've been telling yourself about why you can't, why it's too late, or why it won't work. Because while you're waiting, someone else with less talent, but more courage is out there doing it. And results don't care about potential, they care about execution. Let today be the day you choose growth over comfort, progress over perfection, vision over fear. Let today be the day you stop dipping your toe in the water of your dreams and cannonball into the deep end, fully committed, no turning back. You'll be tempted to retreat, to hide behind busyness, I'm figuring it out, behind one more book, course, or podcast. But you don't need more information. You need more implementation. The greatest breakthroughs come when you're on the edge. The edge of quitting, the edge of crying, the edge of running away. And then you stay, you rise, you fight forward. Comfort is cheap. Growth is priceless. And freedom is the reward of those who refuse to stay stuck. You want a new life, you'll have to give up the one that's just fine. You'll have to say no to comfort and yes to calling, no to playing small and yes to playing smart, no to fear and yes to faith. So stand up. Literally, right now, plant your feet on the ground, say it out loud, I am done playing small. Say it again, until you believe it. Because belief isn't magic. It's built one brave action at a time. And you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing to fail forward, willing to be a beginner again, willing to be laughed at, doubted, misunderstood, all while you build a life they'll one day envy. Comfort kills dreams, but commitment brings them to life. So what are you choosing? Because you are choosing every day with every excuse, every delay, every half-hearted attempt. Choose discomfort. Choose a discipline. Choose direction. And when you feel resistance, lean into it, because resistance is the compass pointing to exactly where your power lives. Where the gold is buried, where you're being called. Your next level will not come gently. It will demand more from you, more focus, more sacrifice, more leadership. But that's how you become someone you're proud of. Don't shrink to fit a comfort zone you've outgrown. Expand into the version of you that's been waiting not for permission, but for a decision. This is the moment, not next year, not after the kids grow up, not after you feel more ready. Now, because your future is being shaped by what you tolerate today. So stop tolerating what drains you. What bores you, what keeps you small, start choosing what stretches you, what excites you, what demands your best. This is how you break out. You break out by showing up on the days you want to disappear. You break out by making the call, sending the email, asking for the opportunity, even when your voice shakes. You break out by saying no to what's easy and yes to what's right. You break out by deciding that comfort is no longer your compass. Growth is rarely glamorous. It's waking up early when no one's watching. It's getting back up after you fall. It's doing the work when you'd rather rest. It's saying yes when fear screams no. Your brain will try to protect you. It's designed to keep you safe, not successful. It wants predictability, familiarity, and control, but you're not here to survive. You're here to thrive, and thriving requires risk. Not recklessness, but intentional. Strategic risk, the kind that builds muscle, mental, emotional, financial, spiritual. Here's what, they don't tell you. The comfort zone isn't just a place of ease. It's a place of quiet suffering, of slow decay, of dreams deferred until they disintegrate. So many people wait for the perfect moment, but perfection is a mask. Fear wears to keep you stuck. There is no perfect moment, there is only now. And if you want to change your life, now is when you do it. You won't always feel ready, but readiness is overrated. Willingness is everything. And willingness sounds like this. I don't know if I can do it, but I'm going to try anyway. That sentence is more powerful than any motivational poster or podcast because it's raw. It's real. It's rooted in courage, not hype. And courage compounds every time you do something that scares you. You level up. You build proof that you're not the same person you used to be. Let that sink in. You're not who you were. Even if you failed yesterday, even if you've delayed for months or years, if you're listening now, something inside you is rising again. Let it rise. Don't silence your hunger just to maintain harmony with mediocrity. You were made for more, not in some vague, feel-good sense, but in a practical, measurable way. More impact, more income, more integrity, more influence, more inner peace. But more requires movement, and movement requires discipline. Discipline is freedom, not in the short term, but in the long term. The more you master your habits, the more you reclaim your life, your time, your energy. So what are your habits saying about your future? Look at your calendar. Look at your bank account. Look at how you spend your mornings. That's your direction, not your dreams. You don't get what you wish for. You get what you work for, what you tolerate, what you schedule, and if your life feels off track, don't panic. Just pivot. Right now, you can choose a new pattern, not a massive overhaul, just a single shift. One uncomfortable conversation, one early wake up, one brave email, one investment in yourself. Stack those shifts, and soon your life becomes unrecognizable. Don't underestimate the power of consistent small moves. A plane just 1 degree off course ends up thousands of miles from its destination. So do we start aiming better, thinking bigger, acting brave. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, not just cheer you, who call you higher, who remind you of your potential when you forget, and if you don't have those people yet, become one of them. Lead by example. Energy attracts energy. Watch how the right people appear when you start becoming the right person. And that person, they live on the other side of your comfort zone. They speak differently with purpose. They walk differently with confidence. They decide differently with conviction. They act differently with vision. And they don't wait for external permission. They give themselves internal direction. You're not here to tiptoe through life and arrive safely at death. You're here to burn bright, to leave a mark, to look back one day and say, I gave it everything. That begins with how you face this moment. Right here, right now, are you going to shrink or stretch? Are you going to choose the known or the necessary? Will you live in the memory of who you were or in the momentum of who you're becoming? The pain of growth is temporary. The pain of regret is forever, and regret is born not from failure, but from inaction, from knowing you could have and didn't, from realizing the door was open, but fear kept you seated. You're not weak, you're just untrained. Train your focus, train your voice, train your courage, train your identity until it aligns with the life you say you want. You're not waiting for the right time, you're waiting to believe in yourself. So stop waiting. Start building that belief with every step you take, with every moment you push beyond what's familiar. That's how belief grows, through evidence. And that evidence comes from action. There will always be a voice whispering, don't do it, stay here, be safe. But there's another voice too, the one that says, there's more for you, rise. Listen to that one. That voice is your future self calling you forward. Answer. Answer by saying yes when your body says no. Answer by getting up early when the world is still quiet and your dreams are loud. Answer by showing up for yourself in ways that scare you because you know who you're becoming depends on it. The future belongs to those who act boldly in the present, not recklessly, but with purpose. You don't need to hustle blindly. You need to move with meaning, with strategy, with deep inner alignment. But even aligned movement requires discomfort. Let that discomfort refine you. Let it shape you. Let it be the fire that forges your next level. The only thing worse than discomfort is stagnation. The slow, creeping death of potential unexpressed. You have no idea how much you're capable of. You think you've seen your limit, but you've barely scratched the surface. Don't cap your future with your current fears. Don't limit your tomorrow with the lens of today. Break free, break routine, break pattern, break beliefs that were never yours to begin with. Because the only permission slip you need to change your life is the decision to do it. That's the power of being human. You can choose again, begin again, build again. Every master was once a disaster. Every legend once felt lost. Every leader once doubted themselves, but they kept moving. That's the secret. Movement creates momentum. So move, not perfectly, just powerfully, just honestly, just daily. You will be tested, but remember, pressure reveals what's real. And your discomfort is not the enemy. It's the invitation, an invitation to rise, to rewrite your story, to lead instead of follow, to impact instead of impress, to live wide awake instead of half asleep. So take the shot, make the ask, write the post, launch the business, leave the job, apply for the thing, say yes to the risk. And if you fail, good, because failure is not final, it's formative, it teaches, it toughens, it trains you to trust yourself. Bow forward, fall learning, fall becoming, and rise. Rise, knowing that on the other side of fear is your freedom. On the other side of resistance is your reward. On the other side of this moment is the life you were born for. But you won't reach it by playing small. You won't reach it by waiting. You'll reach it by deciding right now that comfort is no longer your king. Discipline is, courage is, vision is, and when you live from that place, you don't just change your life. You become the person who changes lives around you. That's the legacy. That's the mission. That's the moment. And it's yours now. So take it and never look back.